The cost of fine wine is rising all around the world. Everything's going up: labor, transportation, cork, glass costs. So what's a wine lover, a wine geek like you or me to do? There are corners of the wine world that I think offer tremendous value for money. The Iberian Peninsula is one of those places. I've talked about Portugal before a lot, but today we're going to talk about a region in Spain. The Spanish are great at a lot of things: their culture, their food, especially their wine. They're just not the greatest marketers in the world, and I don't think it's laziness. I think it's just they're too busy enjoying the good life. I recently returned from a region called Navarra. It's northern Spain. It's right on the border of Rioja. Navarra is a big region. The Kingdom of Navarra used to spread all the way from Bordeaux down to Barcelona. Tempranillo and Garnacha are the two most planted red wine grapes, although there are a slew of Merlot, Cabernet Sauvignons, even Chardonnay, Sauvignon Blanc make cameo appearances there. There are a lot of inexpensive yet high quality wines made there. That affects the image, the price of Navarran wine. That, in addition to its proximity to Rioja, which is such a strong brand. Little known fact, actually, there's a small part of Rioja that spills into Navarra. Navarra is a big, diverse region. There's everything from the desert at the bottom all the way up to the north, where there's mountains. You have the Pyrenees, you have the Basque Country as well, which means the food is exceptional. That's the one thing that blew me away about the Navarran cuisine. It's known as a place where a lot of vegetables are grown: the iceberg lettuce, the piquillo peppers, the mushrooms. Oh my gosh, I love it there. Navarra is known for rosé in Spain, where 30% of domestic rosé production is Navarran. And darker ones like the one we have here, we have the Viña Palacios El Arrebol. This is made of Garnacha. This runs in at 10 euros in Spain. Rosados are a little bit darker. They're made in the Saignée method, which means that they use red wine juice and they just bleed off a little bit to make rosé, so they're going to be more color. They also can be aged in the barrel, which this one is. This is stereotypical when I think of rosadas from Navarra. A lot of strawberry flavors, ripe strawberry. Sometimes with fresh rosés, you can have watermelon type flavors. This has more watermelon Jolly Rancher type flavor because it is darker, deeper. This has body. It has just a touch of tannins. There's a little more substance. I think it stacks up well to the food up there in Navarra, which can be a little bit richer. And of course, it's going to be doused in olive oil and can be even just a tad spicy. This has got a long finish. This is more of a gastronomic, a bigger rosé, not a poolside sipper. This is for me like 90 plus-ish. My tip is if you're going to look for a rosado from Navarra, look for one that has a little bit more color, and don't be afraid to spend a tad more because I think the quality is really high. Navarra, if they want to produce fine wines, in my opinion, Garnacha is the way to go. A lot of old vine stuff there. It seems to me Garnacha there's a little bit less fat, has a little bit more juiciness, which somebody like me absolutely loves. I have 6 different Garnachas here. I tasted all of these when I was on the press trip. I picked the best or the most interesting Garnachas. You ready? I'm ready. Let's get tasting. As you just saw, I just tasted the Rosato out of my Rovsya wine glass. This is a burgundy-shaped glass. This is the best inexpensive glass I've ever used. A lot of you have purchased them, like them. The link in the description box below. I think it's going to be perfect for Garnacha. Grenache, I think, always shows well in burgundy-shaped glasses. Yeah, by the way, if you don't know, Grenache is the same. We know it mostly as Grenache, although it probably should be pronounced Garnacha because the home of Garnacha is Spain. The Kingdom of Aragon, the Kingdom of Navarra, this is understood to be the home of Garnacha. We're also going to do something just a tad bit different today. Wines always seem to taste a little bit better when you're at the place versus when you take them home. I scored all of these wines. This was over a month ago. I put them here in the notebook. I'm going to retaste again, and when we reveal, I want to see if they matched up. And to throw myself off, not all these wines are 90-point wines, but all offer ridiculous value for money. Grenache Garnacha is one of my favorite red wine grapes, especially when it's pure. It's lacking a little bit color. It's a little bit lighter, more perfumed. My problem in the past is sometimes in Spain, they would label wines as Garnacha, but they would actually add a little Syrah Mourvedre in it to add some color. Let's start out with wine 1. It's a little bit darker for a Grenache, but you can still see your fingers through it. Garnacha. Baked strawberry, garrigue notes. The fruit comes out more than the earthy type notes, but the pepper too. Grenache just has this wonderful, it's almost like they used to make fruit roll-up bars that were a little thicker, or any kind of dried strawberry bar with a little bit of white pepper. That's what pure Garnacha smells like to me. Almost like a jam component without being too jammy, with a little bit of rhubarb pie stuck in there. The length here is what's great. The tannins are a little bit dusty, a little bit grippy, but I'm still tasting this wine. I mean, this is like excellent stuff. That's excellent wine. The thing about the Garnachas from Navarra, the alcohol doesn't get too high, which can be a problem in Grenache in general. But the length on here is just excellent. Really, really good. Let's move on here to number 2. Also a darker Garnacha. This one right here, you smell a little bit of wood, just a tad more funk. So almost could be Frenchy in a way. Or this is what I associate with kind of like the Southern Rhone here. But the strawberry starts to really come through here. Not as peppery, so just a little bit of funk, a lot of strawberry leather type notes. I like that leatheriness, that type of taste, a little bit of funk. The first one had a little bit more fruit. This one has some of those other nuances. The only thing is the wine one was a little bit longer. Regardless, I think this is super good. Let's move on to number 3. 3's a little bit more of a lighter Garnacha. It's the lightest out of the 3. Strawberry, red raspberry, rose petal type flavors. This isn't as concentrated as 1 or 2, but it's juicy and it's just enjoyable to drink. I really like it. The only thing that stinks also about some Spanish wines is you can't always find them. I don't think all of these you can find in the US, but some of them you can, or some of the producers especially. Let's move on to wine 4, also a lighter Garnacha. Oh, this is pretty. Sweet cherry flavors, leather. Oh, a lot. This is super leathery. Rose petal. Oh. Garnachas can actually smell like red Burgundy. The acidity maybe starts to give it away a little bit. This is juicy. The tannins are big on the back end. A lot of length. Extremely structured wine. It is great. Really impressive. Let's move on to number 5. That was a very impressive wine. World-class stuff. Let's move on to number 5 here. 5 also smells gorgeous. This has got like the perfect balance. Where 2, like the Garrigue, the leather touch of funk came out a little bit more. 1 was more fruity. 3 was lighter. 4 was more leathery. This has got like the perfect balance of strawberry jam, thyme, sage. Just smells clear, clean. It's got the Garrigue notes, but yet it's super clean, well made, no funk here whatsoever. Oh. That is also really good, big time tannins. This reminds me of like some of the good high quality California GSM Garnacha blends where they have a little bit of that sage, that Garrigue type notes, yet there's no funk. They're still clean, super well made. That is really good. Let's move on to number 6 here. 6 has just tons of peppermint type note. Peppermint, peppermint, peppermint. The spice comes out a little bit, like almost like a peppermint patty. Black cherry type flavors. Now the strawberry notes comes out. It starts to get a little floral, so it's really complex. I like all the flavors in number 6. It just doesn't come, it's like still really, really good, but for real grit, like just amazing. I want it to just come all the way together. In basketball, a sport where I play, you can put together a bunch of good players, but sometimes they don't mesh well on a team. That's what's happening here. It's got potential for greatness. It just hasn't come fully together yet. Still, excellent wines, especially if you like Grenache Garnacha. You ready for the reveal? I even put a wine in here that at the Domain I scored 89 points, and here it scored a lot higher. Sometimes they say the wines taste a lot better at the Domain. Here it's the opposite. Let's start out with number 6. 6 was the one that was peppermint. It's the one I said was really good, yet it didn't come together fully yet. I still gave it 91 points. Let's take a look and see what number 6 is. This is the Marco Real Garnacha Coleccion Privada Crianza 2020. This is $11. How crazy is that? If you could find it in the US, I'm guessing it would be more in the $25 range. Let me see what I scored. I scored at 91 here. There I gave it 92. So actually, not far off. It tasted a little bit better at the site there. It was still really, really good wine. Number 2. Strawberry, leather, and it's the one that I said was a little bit funky, but I kind of liked it. Leathery, it had a nice long finish. I gave it 92 points. Let's take a look here. You ready? This is the Finca La Cantera, brand new young producer, Garnacha 2020, Nomeolvides. That's the name of the wine. This is also a wine that there is like $13. I saw it in shops. If you could find it in the US, I'm guessing it'd be double that, like 25, 26 bucks. I thought it was very good. The organization of Navarra told me that's a young producer. I was really, really impressed with them there. There I gave it 93 plus, so it tasted a little bit better there than here. Still, I thought an excellent wine. Next up, we have wine number 3. I said it was a little bit lighter, a little bit less concentrated than the other ones, which I still liked it a heck of a lot. I still think that it was long. I thought it was delicious. I liked that it was delicate. 92 plus points. To me, was more the Burgundy style Garnacha. Let's take a look here. This is the Viña Zorzal. This is the Señora de las Alturas. This is one of their single vineyard wines. This comes in at 30 bucks in the US. 92 plus points. Not oaky at all, delicate, beautiful, 2021. So this is young. I think it's even gonna get better with time. That's brilliant stuff. There at the estate, I gave it 94 plus points. Didn't maybe show as well. 2 points isn't that big deal. And these delicate wines, that's the thing. Sometimes they can get lost. I have to retaste again. I still think it's an excellent wine. Big boys, number 1, strawberry rhubarb pie. I loved it. It was super long and it showed really well. It also was the first wine I tasted. I gave it 93 points. I thought it was delicious. This is outstanding. Go and seek it out. The most expensive wine in the bunch. This is Bodegas Aroa. This is the Lakar Le Natural, made from 100-year-old vines. This is 2020. This is the most expensive wine in the bunch, 45 bucks. More of a minimal intervention wine. To me, didn't actually taste that minimal intervention here. It's just an excellent wine, 93 points. This is greatness. There at the estate, just looking it up, I gave it 92 points, and I was there in the vineyard. So that's surprising. Sometimes when you're in the vineyard taking up the old views, all the old vines, you tend to score the wines a little bit higher. Maybe I was a little too harsh on this. I think this is awesome. They have a more affordable wine called the Le Natural, which I believe is available in the US under 20 bucks. This is really something special. I loved it. Number 5, everything was just balance in terms of strawberry, garrigue, clear. It was long. Remember I told you, just everything really came together. 93 plus points. Great wine. Just straight out great wine. One of the more affordable wines in the bunch. This is the Castello Monjardin Garnacha 2021. I've seen this in the US for under $15. There in Spain, it's like 9 bucks. I think this is outstanding. We visited the estate. I like their older labels. The newer labels maybe don't like as much. My goodness. I gave this 89 points when I was at the estate, when we were sitting there with the owner having dinner. That's when you sometimes tend to overscore wines. But that's the power of blind tasting, man. 93 points. I think that's an absolute steal if you can find it. I know it's higher altitude vineyards. Okay, number 6. It's the wine that I scored the highest when I was there. And I'm scoring the highest now. Wine number 4. Leather, sweet cherry, rose petal, just everything come together. More of a burgundy type style of Garnacha. 94 points. 94 points. This is the Artazu Pasos de San Martin 2019, 33 bucks for a wine. I just scored 94 points. This is made by Artadi. Artadi is a fantastic producer in Rioja. They make some more expensive wines. I thought this was absolutely killer. Looking back at my notes, I scored this 94 plus when I was there, when I was at dinner, the same as I scored the Zorzal. Great wine, 33 bucks. You can find value. Tell me, do you like Garnacha? Do you like Spanish wine? Let me know what you think. Have you tried any wines from Navarra? Drop it in the comments below.